Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. This is Camille from Research and I am so happy to see you today. I was sick in the past few days and it gave me a lot of time to think, and I thought, why shouldn't I share what were my thoughts? And it got really deep about how I don't create in the same way anymore and trying to understand where it comes from. Yeah, I just thought maybe you wanted to hear this kind of process that I've had and been thinking about, in case you're having it too or you've noticed the same two things. So since I was sick, I couldn't really create anything new, and I decided to do some editing of the most beautiful place I've been in the past years, which were between France and Mexico. France, where my family lives, and Mexico, where I live. So I really hope you enjoy it. Took my heart upon a one-way trip. Guess she went wandering off with it. And unlike most women I know, this one will bring it back home. First, I need to do a small disclaimer that I have kind of lost my voice. So if I sound like an old smoking lady, it's kind of normal, I guess. And I'm sorry about that if some people does not like it. I personally think I kind of sound like a character, so I enjoy it, but yeah, very small disclaimer. A few years ago, I was browsing through my old stuff in my parents' house, and I found the most interesting thing. A piece of paper with a little text written by 20-year-old me. I remember perfectly what had happened that day. I was in Strasbourg, where I was studying, and passed through a place I used to go with someone I used to love very much, and I stayed there for quite a while, hoping to see him arrive at a corner. And all of those emotions, nostalgia, inspired me to write this little text. And then it struck me. It's been so long I hadn't felt the need to write down this mix of imagination and experience. It's been so long I haven't written anything out of this kind of inspiration flash. I started to think about why for a second and realized I had been developing very different creative endeavors since I moved to Mexico. A year later, I was back in the same city around the same time of year. Gloomy, mystic Strasbourg, worthy of all mystery tales and witch stories. The buildings are majestic, the weather mystifying, and the air at peace. When suddenly, it was back. I would write every single day about new ideas. That's when I thought, maybe my environment influences my art. I used to sing all the time, which I don't in Latin America, or not much, and whenever I come back, it's all I do. In Mexico, I draw and paint a lot. I have sewing projects, and everything I do always requires colors, as if the natural ones I see every day inspired me to have them in my creations. So I got curious and started to think of all the different factors that could influence that. A very obvious one to me is language. Studies show that our language influences our perception, behaviors, and reaction to things. For example, in a gendered language like French or German, the perception of a thing can be different due to the gender it is given. When asked to describe a bridge, French people for whom it's masculine, un pont, describe it as a strong, potent, reliable structure. In the same exercise, German people for whom it's feminine, eine Brücke, describe it as poetic, romantic, and delicate. They both talk about the same things, and yet they have a different perception of it. So is it the fact that I now speak Spanish fluently and use it on a daily basis that influences the art I create on a daily basis? Maybe, but it sounded too easy of an answer to me. I could geek out for hours about how language influences your brain. I literally just finished a master's degree on applying humanistic psychology to language teaching. But something the beautiful, incredible, and passionate Shiadani said inspired another explanation. In one TikTok, she was explaining how she does not care about having an accent when speaking English, because the important thing to her was to express who she is. And that's when it struck me. There is a theory in psychology called transactional analysis. In short, there are different states of interaction, like personas we kind of take on, and depending on the one someone is in while talking to you, you will tend to interact in the opposite manner or equal manner. For example, when someone talks to you in a parent-like way, a strict parent-like way, you will tend to answer with a rebel, childlike behavior. So the language and interaction used influences who you show yourself as. In my case, I have been growing dramatically since I started to live in Mexico. Therefore, when speaking in Spanish, I don't express myself as in French because my brain kind of integrated the language with the development. And it only made sense that my art would be affected by that. So I thought maybe I should find a balance and try to express who I have grown to be now in French, when I'm in France. One great way to do so is actually through art and body memory, trying to do my Mexican way of art in France and vice versa, to try and merge who I am and whom I've become through the years in one and only person. Hello everyone, so I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped you in your thought process. Maybe if you've been living something similar to mine, please make sure to share it in the comments, share your experience, share what helped you or what you've noticed in your life lately. I would love to hear everything you have to say. And make sure to like the video if you've been this far, and to follow the page. I got stuck, sorry. And to follow the channel if you want to see more of these videos. So thank you very much for everything, and have a beautiful day. Bye.